People are joining, 4 people so far. So this is the weekly AMA where you can ask me anything related to yoga or jiu-jitsu. So if you have anything pressing on your mind, please feel free to ask me. And if you dare showing your face, you can request to join video and we can have a little video chat. Jiu-jitsu Ben, you have anything for me today? Any questions or anything you want to tell me? Please feel free to shout out. Valdrik Abeza has joined. Stretching to help knees. What about your knees? What is wrong with your knees? Why do you need to stretch them? Favorite donut flavor? Leon, anything? Us, you have anything for me today? Ask me anything. We are live not only here but also over there on different platforms. Luckily I have a whole crew of technomancers. Ultra heavyweights cannot get as flexible as you guys. True or false? Ultra heavyweights can be flexible enough to beat any ultra heavyweight. Because you're usually so stiff that even just a 5% improvement can make a huge difference. Obviously, I will never be as flexible as someone from India who is super skinny and grew up doing yoga, but that's not what I want, because the more flexible you are, the more prone you are to injuries from overstretching. So you don't want to be ultra flexible, you want to be flexible enough. And ultra heavyweights have a lot of muscle, and it takes longer for someone who is super stiff to become flexible. But the gains in the beginning are faster, because you just have to do a couple of stretches, and that's enough for you to notice a big difference. But if you want real results, you have to work on it even longer than someone my size. But it will be even more worth it because no one else in your weight category bothers. So it's a huge edge to have that small amount of flexibility. Hurt from BJJ, Fraser Hackey. Not corona, just sniffing. Incredible answer, Us, thank you. Yeah, you don't really want to be super flexible. And people think that, for example, I am super flexible because I can touch my toes. But if you look closely, my hips are in a 90-degree angle when I touch my toes. So it has nothing to do with flexibility. Everybody can sit like this and stretch forward. It's just that my legs are so short. So when I fold forward, when I can touch my head to my toes, it looks like I'm super flexible, but a lot of people have that flexibility. It's just an illusion that makes it seem like I'm flexible, but it's just proportions. So don't be tricked by your eyes when you see someone who looks super flexible, because many times it's just proportions and you can't change those. So someone might look super flexible, but they feel just as stiff as you do. So if anybody wants to join me and have a quick chat, just click request video and let's talk a little bit about flexibility, inflexibility, jiu-jitsu, or anything you want that is related to yoga for BJJ. So I will start a live class in 29 minutes on yogaforbjj.net on the website or in the apps. So if you guys want to join that class, go to yogaforbjj.net and either pay $3. If you remember, it's free, obviously, but take the class. Today's class is focused on shoulders. So we will work a lot on shoulder, both internal rotation and external rotation of the shoulder, and just a standard all-round vinyasa flow class that feels good everywhere, but your shoulders will feel extra good today. And if you can't take today's class right now, it will be uploaded to yogaforbjj.net and the huge video library we have there, and you can take the class from now until eternity. Let's see. When to stretch an injury versus rest. If it hurts all the time, then you should not stretch it. If it only hurts when you move it, that's the time to stretch it. But if you can feel the pain all the time, you don't necessarily want to stretch an injury. You want to stretch everything but the injury. So if you have an injury on the inside of the knee, you want to stretch the inner thigh, the calf, the quad. You want to stretch everything except the place where you have the injury, because that's just safety. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you should probably do something else. So instead of working on the exact place where you have an injury, work on everything else. And this is another layer, another aspect. You usually don't get injured where the problem is. The injury can often be a consequence of the real problem. Knees is a good example because your legs and your hips are probably really stiff, and whenever there is pressure on your leg, the knee is probably the weakest point, especially in jiu-jitsu. That's why we have so many knee injuries in jiu-jitsu. We put the legs in really awkward positions, and we don't have the strength or flexibility to move around the problem, so the pressure just mounts and the knee snaps. So to answer your question, when should you stretch it and when should you rest it? You should always work on everything but your problem area, and that's the safe answer. I can't give you a specific answer because that would be stupid, because there are so many aspects. But rest your injury and work everything else is a very, very safe answer, and you can never go wrong with that. It takes some dedication though, and it takes some patience, and most people don't have that, and that's why everybody is not a member on Yoga for BJJ, because I have the magic pill, but you can't just buy it and eat it. You have to buy it every month, and then you have to eat it every day for 10 minutes, and people can't take that. They just want me to solve their problems. I'm here to tell you that you have to solve your own problems, but with my help. And that's the big problem with my business, is that I can't just tell people an idea and that idea will help them. It doesn't matter if you believe in yoga. You can't be a believer in yoga. It's not enough to have faith. You have to work every day on it, and most people can't do that. I'm lazy too, I know how it feels, but at least every day I sit like this with crossed legs for half an hour, and that's enough to stretch out my hips and my lower back, and it makes a huge difference. Even if I'm lazy and out of shape, I still do enough to just maintain a basic quality of life, and that's like the minimum that I try to help other people achieve. What is your go-to position after a long plane ride? Asking as a competitor who travels a lot. This is a body bias. My answer is a body bias, but I do a lot of forward folds because of my lower back. So every time I've been on a plane, I try to lay down on the floor so that my legs are up, obviously, because your legs are usually swollen after a train ride. Just working the wrists and ankles is great after a plane ride. And also, I always go upside down and invert, as well as standing up, folding forward like this. Usually helps a lot for me after a plane ride. Also, the way you sit on a plane matters a lot. You should not be leaning back into the seat hunched over. You should try to scoot your butt back so that your lower back has a sway, so that you're basically sitting on your thighs and not your butt. And if you can sit up straight, maybe buy one of these really cheap, what do you call it? Whiplash. People who have whiplash that stiff off their neck, if you buy one of those, just as if you had a whiplash, that it fixes the neck completely, then you can sleep sitting up with like a completely straight spine instead of being hunched over. Because much of the problem from a plane ride is you compensating for compensating for compensating. So everything is just a big compensation. So if you can sit with perfect posture, you can't really lay down on the plane. But if you're falling asleep like this for 2 hours, no wonder you feel like shit when you arrive at the destination. So try to be in good posture as much as possible, maybe all of the time, and then you won't have to compensate and do as much yoga after the plane ride as you otherwise would. All right, a couple of more questions. It's a really short one today because I need to finish my preparation for the live class. But if you guys have any more questions, take a couple of minutes, shoot them away. Hey, you have no idea how much of your lower back stretching routine has saved my life. I couldn't train without going to cryo once a month. Now I'm back training 6 times a week, no problem. Ooh, Gab, request the video and let's have a quick chat. Come on, Gab, I want to hear. I have questions for you. Click the 3 dots and then request video, I think. I just do the routine 3 times a week after training. It literally changed my life and recovery. I love it. I love it. Lower back pain is where I come from. That's why I started Yoga for BJJ. It's one of the most devastating pains. You can take pain in a finger, but pain in the lower back is just brutal. And over 80% of professional jiu-jitsu athletes suffer from lower back pain, and it's a huge problem, and it's a huge cost to society. And I really appreciate you sharing that, Gab, because it's probably the most important aspect of why yoga is magic for BJJ. It helps the lower back, and everybody who has had lower back pain hates it. And how do you do that? I think you can press the comments and then the 3 dots and then request to join. There should be dots somewhere on the screen, and you can take request video, request to join, join stream or something like that. Let's see, I'm trying to request. Gab, all right, view. Waiting for Gab.
Hey.
There we go. Hey man, thanks for tuning in.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot for your content.
Where are you from?
I'm from France.
From
France? I train in yes, southern France, Perpignan.
Nice. Okay, I have no idea what that means, but fair enough. How long have you been training BJJ?
About 6 years now.
6 years, and how long have you had lower back problems?
About 3 years, 3 years and a half.
Yeah, so
something like that.
At blue belt you started experiencing the downsides of jiu-jitsu, right?
Yes, actually it all started during one training session. I trained with a big rugby player, and he basically did not know about the rules, so he just picked me up and slammed me in close guard. And from there on, it was a huge strain of problems with my lumbars. Yes.
Did the cryotherapy help anything?
It's not cryotherapy. I used to go to what we call osteopaths, which is basically a back doctor, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so like a chiropractor / osteopath.
Yes, exactly, chiropractor. That's basically it.
And he put your back into place every month.
Yes, he used to fix me quite a lot, quite often, but then it will basically go back to being bad after just a few days.
So he didn't fix the problem, he only fixed the consequences of your problem.
Yes, because after going to him, the next training session will feel really good, but then after a week later, it will be back. The exact problem will be back.
And you joined Yoga for BJJ because you thought you could fix it yourself?
I was really out of solutions. I didn't know what to do to fix the problem, and he told me, maybe do you try to meditate or relax? And I was like, how do I do that? What am I supposed to do? So I went and searched some yoga videos. I found one from I think Clark Gracie or something like that, but it was way too long. The routine was too long for me. I didn't have the time to fit it during my schedule, and I found your videos. I found the lower back stretching routine.
How long was his video, Clark's video? How long was it?
30 minutes. 30 minutes, something like that.
How long was my video?
10 minutes. Exactly 10 minutes.
You found it on YouTube?
Yes, I found it on YouTube, yes. It's called lower back stretching routine, I think. That's how you call it.
And you just do that one over and over?
Yes, I did it basically every single day during confinement. Every single day, and it feels super good. So.
And is it a combination of techniques, or is it just one of them that you think really works? Did you try to take out and skip some techniques, or do you like do one video religiously?
I started to take away one of them, which is the one where you grab both of your elbows under your legs and you try to rest, because this one would hurt a bit. Yes, this one would hurt a little, but actually, since I've been doing them so much, I've become way more flexible, and now I can do the entire thing no problem. So I just do the entire thing no problem religiously. I can close my eyes and tell you every single word you say during the video. That's how much I know it. You say the spine is an amazing stretcher. You just like I know the video by heart. Basically,
you would become a great Yoga for BJJ instructor, because you can just memorize every video that you like, and just like a machine.
Yes, my parents hate me because I play the video out loud when I'm by them, and they hear your voice and they're like, "Who is this guy speaking English in the living room?" I'm like, "This is the yoga guy."
I had some guys say that their wife are getting jealous with me because they spend more time with me than with them.
Yes, actually, you have to.
I'm super happy that your lower back is better, but take my advice and don't only do one video, because next time you will have a shoulder problem, and then you will have to do only the shoulder video. So the best approach is to do general stuff 2-3 times a week, and then take your special thing like if you because you have cracked the biggest obstacle, the biggest code is consistency. So if you have been doing 10 minutes every single day, you are seeing amazing results. But it has nothing to do with you or with the video. It's the thing in itself that you do it regularly that is so profound. 10 minutes a day can combat so much. Not maybe if you sit in front of the computer for 10 hours, nothing can really solve that problem. You have to fix that problem. But if you have a problem in jiu-jitsu, every single problem in jiu-jitsu can be solved if you do the solution 10 minutes a day. But other than that, because you're already 90% there. But if you start doing general stuff and not only the things that you love, but also a little bit of the things that you don't like so much, then you will start seeing progress on other areas as well.
Yeah, I've started training hips with your hips training routine, and I've seen some results. Yeah, it's really good.
Great. Okay, guys. What's your name again? What's your name, Gab? Gabriel. Okay, thank you so much for chatting, and tune in next week. Follow up with any more questions if you have later. Okay.
Sure, I'll be there. Sure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for joining.
Us.
All right, that was awesome. Okay, let's see. Varun is back. You were here last week. Varun 6200. My exact problem. I have lower back sciatic problems, but training is not a problem. A neighbor has given me inversion table. What's your view on them? I tried the inversion table, but it hurt too much for me back in the day. I haven't tried them lately, but it clogged my head, and there was too much pressure in my head. I can only remember that it was kind of nice, but I could only stay there for a little while. I made my own gravity boots where I hung upside down, but it was just too much for me. So there are other ways where you can weight the legs and have your legs be drawn out, and it probably helps. But again, I don't think it fixes your problem permanently. I think the only permanent solution is to do something all the time, and yoga is the best thing I've found. As soon as I find a pill or a procedure or something that's better than yoga, I will be the first to tell you, even if it's bad business for me. But the reason I don't endorse anything more than yoga is because it's been working so well for me and people around me. All right, thank you very much for joining. You suggested to do something general every day. What program do you suggest? Basically intermediate, depending on level. Carnival, that's why I created the big pipeline on Yoga for BJJ, because it kind of addresses everything. And if there's something you can't do, you skip it. And if there's something like Gabriel, who just joined, if something he loves, he will just stop and only do that because it works so well for him. So it depends. Like, it depends is the worst answer, but it's because your question is too general. Do something general every day. You can do the same video over and over every day, like the official Yoga for BJJ warm-up routine that the online teacher trainees are learning how to teach. By the way, it starts, the sign up ends September 17th. So you have to sign up for the online teacher training, and then the registration will close. If you sign up and don't want to graduate in October, you can graduate next year, but it will be a long time and you can have time to practice. But that standard warm-up routine or the full Yoga for BJJ standard class is general enough for everybody to do every single day. All right, I have to prepare for the class. See you guys in 14 minutes on the website or in the apps. And thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you same place, same time next week. Thank you for joining.